So my reaction, like everybody else in the city of Albany, was shock, dismay, pain, sadness, fear. Our family have had all the same reactions as everybody else. We live in the city of Albany. We love the city of Albany, and we hate that this is happening to our city. And so one of the things I would like to see change in the city of Albany actually is going to start with the leadership. It's been 100 years of single party leadership in the city of Albany, and not only is nothing changing for the better, I would go so far as to say it's actually changing for the worse. I think we're deconstructing ourselves, and I think the city of Albany, we're the capital city of what I consider to be the greatest state in America. I love New York State, and Albany should be better than this. We deserve better than this. And when it comes to reducing all the things, we see everything: reducing blight, reducing taxes, reducing and really I could use the word reducing over anything in the city of Albany. There isn't and there hasn't been a motivation to really change anything in a large way. Maybe little tiny bits here and there, but really the overall life that we live in Albany, I believe we're better than this. We deserve better than this, and I demand better than this. So I'm ready to step up and make sure that this is what happens for the people in Albany. I don't want to live in fear anymore, and I don't want to drive over any more potholes. So one of the things that I tell people is be careful of the promises in an election year from incumbent leadership, because if nothing has changed, nothing will change, and everything just becomes rhetoric. And so the problem with the way that the city is handling it is all of a sudden there's these great ideas. Oh, we have a coming together. We want to have communication. Yes, we all know that, and we all want that, and we have all wanted that for 12 years, 30 years, 50 years, what have you. My biggest problem with the way that the city handles anything, but certainly the worst of it is how we are affected by crime, is that it's not only a passive approach, it's a reactive approach. Oh, there was a shooting, let's get down there. Oh no, a child was hit by a car near my house the other day, let's fill in those potholes. No, that should have been done. Oh no, a blighted building burned down. Let's make sure we tear everything down, if we're lucky to even get that. That passive approach, the reactive approach, is not good enough. The city needs, and this is my plan moving ahead, is an extremely proactive approach where we tackle issues, we try to anticipate issues, and certainly I don't even have to anticipate them. I can see them all around me. And so finding these issues and going after them ahead of time to say, okay, here, this is an issue. Can we just identify it, agree with it, and move on it? Neighbors and friends call, I hear every day, they call constantly. The city is not unaware of the issues in the city of Albany, and they haven't been. So when they come out and say, this has to stop and we demand better, I don't buy it. Because what is the motivation to change just because it's gotten bad? It's been getting bad for decades. And so my approach to, I'm a very proactive person. I'm somebody who has a very clear line in the sand about everything, about crime. This isn't good enough for the city of Albany. And so my plan is to take these issues that we already have, let's just start at the top, and go after them with meaningful change. Just say maybe legislation shift, but maybe we need a personnel change. Maybe we need some people who aren't just going to show up and legislate, but really going to be people who can touch the community where they are instead of coming in from the top and saying, here's what we think you need, and thanks for letting us know. No, I want to find out first. Before the community finds out, I would already want to be aware of what's going on, and we'll address it first. Okay, so I've boiled it down to 3 words: livability, accountability, and transparency. And there isn't anything I can think of in the city of Albany that doesn't funnel under one of those. So the plan for the city of Albany is to address livability, and that does involve crime. So we'll set that aside. Like you said, that's such a monumental, it's years in the making to address crime. Livability, number one answer, no matter who I talk to, the number one answer is potholes. And it sounds really petty when we have shootings going on in the street, but what I've learned through this, and it's things like trash. Why does my trash get picked up? Why did my water bill go up? These kind of things. What I've learned is that people's everyday livability, it sweetens their life or it sours it in the city of Albany, and they may make a decision to leave or pack up their business based on the fact that there are homeless people wandering in and out and grabbing food out of customers' hands, coming in, and someone had told me that their business, someone comes in and demands Sharpies so they can write all over their sweatshirt, and they harass the customers. These kind of things drive people away. They drive families away, businesses away. So livability. I'll tell you, transparency, another big one. There are meetings, there are services, there are all kinds of things that the city actually does do. Most people have no idea what's going on in the city, where, when. That is a deliberate campaign. As a journalist, I completely understand the backdoor snuffing of our right to the First Amendment to have freedom of the press. We have local public access media. We have, one of the things that City Hall is doing is they keep everything on, say, their social media, YouTube, Facebook, so we have to come find them. I believe that the city leadership should be boots on the ground saying, this is what's coming up. It's important that you know, so you can be, maybe somebody doesn't have a Facebook page. Maybe they don't have a Twitter account. The city needs to do better about informing people. So transparency, this is what we're doing. This goes for the budget. What are you doing with the budget? I'm not an accountant, so the average person, I don't understand. $86 million sounds so big. Let's funnel it down to how it affects me every day. And then certainly accountability. No one has held the current administration accountable for their movements, and on the other side of the equation, their lack of movement in certain areas. Media, another great one, checks and balances, but there's absolutely no diversity for a party that loves to celebrate their diversity. There's absolutely no diversity of thought in the city leadership at all. There's no diversity of opinion. We should have dissent. It's one of the things that makes America beautiful, to have somebody say, I don't agree, and then now we're forced to compromise and find something that is not representative of, maybe they have color diversity, but they don't have thought diversity, and it's just as important. So that will absolutely change when I'm the mayor. So one thing I notice people don't seem to remember is that the election is this November. They think maybe because gubernatorial or whatever are a long way off. There are some very significant elections coming up this November. It's November 2nd. But if I could give anyone a message, I hear all the time at the doors when I'm talking to people, what people realize, they want to talk at the doors about Trump versus Biden. They want to talk about vaccinations, these really, abortion, gay marriage, these giant issues that actually have nothing to do with running a city. So what I would love people to understand is that your local election matters more to your everyday livability and the experience you have than something on the federal, national level. People want to talk about Donald Trump. That has nothing to do with running the city, but you know what does? Let's talk about putting up signs so kids are crossing the street and somebody doesn't zoom down the road and hit them, that sort of thing. And so that's common council, that's school board. You should run for school board, something like that. Those are the things where it affects your everyday life. It affects your children. It affects how your money is spent. It affects your home value. Local elections, I'm very big on the power of the local election. That is where people's voice, they feel like when they vote presidential, their voice wasn't heard or wasn't represented on either side. Locally, it will be. So you've got to vote for mayor, you've got to vote for common council, learn about who the candidates are, and may the best candidate win.